ThemeParkBazza with...
This is Bazza.
And we're just packing the car up because we are heading over to Atlanta. Come with us today. It's travel day to Atlanta for our anniversary weekend. So join us. On this trip, we are going from Orlando to Atlanta. I think it was Kate I was talking to last week was asking us, says, you know, about booking flights and checking in and everything. She's maybe have to do that, or she knows people who've had to do that for the first time, not used to it. So I just thought, okay, we'll talk you through how we book our flights, how we check in, all that kind of stuff as we get on our way to Atlanta. First though, MCO. Let's go, Max.
MCO.
Right, well, we're here at the terminal. We're going to walk in now, and I'll talk a little bit about booking and what we do and everything. So I'm the one who normally books the trips, aren't I?
It is, yeah.
So let's go. I think the terminals are over there. We're at Terminal C at MCO. I guess as far as booking goes, if you're good at the internet, then that's a very good place to be able to go and research flights and do things.
Yeah.
And we do most of our booking on the internet. If you're not good on the internet, travel agency, yeah? High Street, or if you need any recommendations, just message me below and I'll give you recommendations. But travel agents make it a lot easier because they book the whole thing, the flights, the hotel, the rental cars. If you haven't traveled a lot, they may be a good idea, aren't they, Max?
Yeah.
As well. So yeah, travel agents are a good idea. We do a lot of our research on the internet typically, because in America flights are like buses, aren't they?
Yeah.
For getting places. So what I will typically do is go on Expedia.com and check out flights to start with, to get some ideas of prices from different airlines, and then we'll go and check the airlines directly. And we also check any cheaper. And we also do Booking.com. They're the three to sort of narrow it down. I also sign up for like the airpoint loyalty cards and the hotel loyalty cards and the rental car loyalty cards, because if you're going to stay somewhere, you might as well get something back from it, and it's free. And if you get enough points, you can then start, you know, taking holidays and getting free nights and things like that. So we're staying in a Holiday Inn I have points for. We're flying with Delta, that I fly with regularly. So that's the idea. But when we've got it narrowed down, we'll typically do that. Airlines have a couple of advantages if you book with them directly, and you can get access to the seats and things like that, can't you? And different things. And if it's a code share, then you can, you know, like we book with Delta, but we fly with Virgin. So we can still see the Virgin seats and everything. And that's the big advantage of booking with an airline, is you can pick the seats beforehand. Because when you book, first thing they'll do is give you a locator code, which is a 6-digit number, mix of number and letters, and that's unique to you and your booking and your ticket. And you use that to be able to go into Expedia or to go to whoever you book with, or the airline directly, and you can go straight there, and you can maybe pick your meals if you're going to Europe, can't you? Book your seats, book any extras, and also track the flights and all that things happening. And also we put the apps on our phone, don't we?
Yeah.
Because we actually check in, we check in with our phone, and we track things with our phone. So if you're not good on mobiles as well, maybe booking with a travel agent and printing things out is the best way to go. And then the first thing that happens is, once you get your ticket, is 24 hours before you're due to travel, you'll get an email that says time to check in. You get it on your phone, you get it on the computer. If you're doing it with a travel agent, you'll check in at the terminal. And sometimes you still have to check in at the terminal. If you're traveling internationally, you still have to. You have to check your passports. But the good thing is that if you check in early, you can get to pick your seats as well. So if you haven't got a seat reserved, things like exit rows usually come up, don't they?
Yeah.
24 hours beforehand. So you can change your seats when you book in. So we always do that. And by the way, if you're looking for seats, there's a site called Seat Guru, and that's the one we use. And you can put in your flight number, your date. It'll tell you the aircraft, and it will show you a map of all the seats and show you which are the good ones and the bad ones, green or red. So you can, it'll give you, you know, from people who've flown before. So it's a good way of being able to pick your seats. And that's very important, isn't it? Especially on a long flight. Especially if you don't want to sit next to each other. So seatguru.com is another one that we use. But yeah, 24 hours beforehand, we'll check in. And it'll give you, even if you've got to get a paper boarding pass, it will give you an electronic one that you'll see here, a code that you'll scan. And very importantly, it'll tell you which terminal you're actually going to fly from and which gate you're going to fly from. And you'll need to know that when you get here, where to park and where to go through security. So ours is flying from Terminal B, and we're choosing to park at C and get the train across. But we also have a gate number, because if you're going through security as well, sometimes different gates go through different security areas, don't they? So the important things are your locator code, the terminal, and the gate that you're going to be going through. And when you get to the airport, you're going to do one or two things. You're going to go check in, check your bags in. We're taking carry-ons, which we normally do on a short flight. You can take these on the plane, but we'll show you the check-in process because we'll go across there to the other terminal and be able to see that when we get there. Also, many of these terminals are like interconnecting trains and things to get around at Orlando. There's a few of them do. So normally you're going to get dropped off with a taxi, or Park will drop you right at the terminal outside, won't they? Yeah. Go straight to the check-in. Or like us, we're in a remote terminal. We're taking a rental car back, and we'll show you that actually, because rental cars we also book direct. We're with points, and we're going to go and pick up a rental car in Atlanta, so we'll show you how that works. But we've just arrived. We checked in online 24 hours ago. We have our boarding pass already. We know the gate. We don't have to check these bags in. Nope. So our next step when you get to the airport, and they don't check passports, you don't have to have ID with you like a passport. We got a driving license which you can use in America. Just to go domestic flights? Yeah, just to go domestic flights. And also, usual thing is if you're going to go through security, you'd have your liquids, 3 ounces or whatever it is. How many mils is that? 100 mils or less in one clear plastic bag. Take your shoes off. You don't typically have to take your electronics out here, do your laptops and computers. I don't think so. In most airports, but check, because every airport's different. Sometimes you've got to take your shoes off. Sometimes in the UK, you've got to take your iPads out. So just check with yeah, if you go through security, just check that as you go. But we're going to go over here, over to the terminal, show you check-in, show you security, and then go through security. Oh, the other thing about the app as well is you can go and check your incoming flight. It's not about is your flight on time. I'll tell you if your flight's on time, but if the one that's coming in is late, then you know yours is going to be late. So you can check things like that. And when you're on board and you've checked your bags, in a lot of airlines, there's a little thing in the app that will tell you if your bags are actually on board the plane, if you stress about that as well. So the apps are really good things to be connected to, but our train's coming in. So we're going to go and jump on the train and get on towards the airport. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention is there's a law here in the US that if you book, I think it's global, if you book a flight, you can cancel it within 24 hours and get a full refund. So if you make a mistake and you're doing online, we did it once and then we cancelled and the airline didn't give us a refund, and we rang them up and said hey, and they went, yeah, our mistake, and they gave us a refund. So it's like a global law. So if you don't worry about that, if you book something, as long as it's within 24 hours, free cancellation for flights. And the reason we put them on our credit card is, or you do after travel agency, if something goes wrong with the airline, you've got some protection on the credit card. And typically we do take out travel insurance if we're going global, European. Yeah. It's like a lot of money. It's a lot of money to book on a ticket and not be able to reuse it again. But we usually go for the cheapest, non-refundable, where you can book seats, don't we? Yeah. Is the way we go. And typically we'll try and go premium if we're going like more than 8 hours, and just economy if not for us. But you'll have those choices when you book your flight. You can pick all the different seat types. You can look at the price options. Look at connection times as well. If you've got to change flights, it's always good to give yourself a couple of hours at an airport. I would say at least 2 hours. If you're unfamiliar with it. But we're going direct today. It's a very short flight for us. It's only an hour. But you still go through exactly the same process, whether it's a 1 hour flight or a 10-hour flight of booking, going online, getting to the airport, checking in and all that stuff. And we'll be going over here to the terminals. But let's get to the train and let's show you where you check in. The other thing is on short domestic flights, they don't give you any food, just peanuts and stuff. So if you want to get some food, best to do it before you get through security. Well, after you get through security, you can't take liquids through security. But you're best to get a sandwich or something, or have something to eat, I was going to say, in the food court at like the airport before you actually get through security. But check out the airport and what's through. Some airports have good restaurants once you get to the other side. Orlando doesn't have that many. The best food court in Orlando is before you go through security. So check that out as you go. So when you first arrive at the airport, you're going to go to check-in, these areas here. There's usually like online, you can just bag drop, but if you're going internationally with your passports, as you can see, it's very, very busy. And there's usually separate entrances for economy, premium economy or business. So you can look out for that and see which is the one, and you know, the higher, the more you pay, I guess the more luxurious service you get. But typically, a lot of these you're going to have to check in at a machine, scan it, get a light label, or you can wait in line to get served by somebody who's going to check you in. The airlines check-ins are all shown here, where to go check in and which area. Sometimes there's a check-in area. If you go to like to Manchester, there's like a check-in number, check-in area, and there you're going to drop your bags off, any bags you want to check on the plane, anything you're going to carry on, you'll keep with you. And once you've done the check-in, some kids not very happy, once you've done the check-in, then you're going to go to security. And at MCO there's 2 security areas, and it's based on the gates. So gate 1 to 59 is at the far end, and gate 70 to 129 is at this end. We're at gate 72, so we're going to check in, go through security at this end. That's why it's important to know your gate number as well as your terminal to come in here. This is, you'll recognise, is the classic MCO area. The food court is down there. Toilets are down there. Security are these areas here. They'll have some of them have like wait times, how long it's going to take. This is where you've got to get all your liquids out, your shoes off, you know, that kind of stuff. So we're going to put this camera away, get through security, and join us on another train the other side of security. Right, we are through security. We have to go and get on the right tram to get us to our gates. One thing I forgot to mention is we normally get to the airport for about 2 hours before max. About an hour and a half to 2 hours for an internal flight. About 3 hours for an international flight. Should do the same. You never know of delays that can happen. And sometimes flights went early. I had one last week. It actually left 10 minutes earlier than it said. Yeah, they changed. Everybody must have been on board then. Well, they had bad weather coming in, I think. Yeah. So we're going to get on the train. Another thing I also didn't mention is when we get the boarding pass, I take a photo of it and keep it in my cam on the phone. Because when you're in line, there's a lot of pressure to like get everything there, get your passport out, get your whatever. Well, not checking there, but I mean when you get to security. So I keep just take a picture of it, and then I go to photos, and then you can use that to scan in the scanner when you come. So we're going to get on the train here to take us over to the terminal. Shall we do that? So once you get to the airport, like I said, they may have to get a different transportation method to your terminal or to where your gates are. Yeah. Atlanta's the same. We'll show you that when we get there as a plane train. First thing we do when we get here is just check the board, see if there's any change on the time, if it's any different to what's on the app. So we're going to Atlanta is at 12 o'clock. In the US, these are all in alphabetical order as opposed to time. So Atlanta will be up there at the top. What we normally do is go and scout the gate out as well. We don't go there straight away, but it's always good to know where it is and how far it is if you want to go and have something to eat or drink. There's usually a Starbucks and there's usually some eating places. We don't tend to eat here, but we'll sometimes grab a sandwich. Like, I don't know if you want to grab a sandwich because our flight is going to be out of a lunchtime from 12 till 2.
Maybe then.
So let me take you to another sandwich place down here that's a lot quieter. Because I come to these terminals a lot, what I do is I have a walk around a lot and I go and suss out the quiet bars and the quiet eating areas. Where we're going to go is down there and it's like a zoo. Where we're going to take you to is where Virgin flights go from down here. There's a cafe that it's a lot quieter, and a bar if you want to drink. Yeah.
I think I'm good for a drink.
So I'm just in Tina's place outside the bathrooms that she likes. So what I do is I go scout around the airports and look for the places where there are not a lot of flights going. Usually the bathrooms are quieter and the restaurants are quieter, and you know you can get a quiet seating area away from lots of people. In this particular terminal where all the international flights go down where we're heading now, they don't leave till like 5, 6, 7, 9, 10 o'clock in the evening. So things are usually a lot quieter down here, including the bars and restaurants. That's why we're going to go. I'm just going to head down this way when Max gets back, and we'll go and check out the food. We'll get a drink. Maybe on the flight, it's a 1 hour flight, we'll get a bag of peanuts and a drink. But I say we're flying from 12 till about 2:33. Then we've got an hour's drive the other side, so it's going to be 4. So we're not going to have anything at winter. It's basically going to be our lunch, isn't it? You can buy stuff on some of the planes, but they don't have a lot in domestic in the US, and they're very expensive. Well, airports are expensive anyway, aren't they? I did forget to mention it's now an hour before our boarding time. So like I say, we get here like 2 hours before. Give us a chance to park, get through security, do our stuff. Usually we're in the terminal maybe an hour before we board, at the latest, just so we can scout it out and we can go just chill before the flight, because it comes a bit, you know, flying's stressful, so you want to pace yourself. And but for somebody who flies every other week, this is what I do, and it helps me. Just tips, you might like them or not, but just how I survive the rigours of travel. So just telling everybody, go and scout the airport out and work out where all the flights aren't going from when I'm here. And this is again, this is where I go and sit if I'm on a lunchtime flight from Atlanta. It differs at every airport, but they all have areas like this. And you see you can grab a seat, and where that white is down there, Max, that's where the shop is and the bar at the back. And if you want a sit-down bar, if you go to the end of the other terminal down there, there's a nice sit-down bar, just food as well, breakfasts and things in the morning. But the terminal we're going to, the Delta one, is just crazy. And this is where you get your crisps and your sandwiches. And in the back corner, there's a bar. And Virgin go from down there, Max. That's where we flew Virgin last time. And the gate's down there. Yeah, a bar with only 2 people sat at it. Yeah. And your sandwiches are in the fridge here. Last time I came, they weren't really well stocked, but these are good. Got salads as well. What, tuna salad wrap? Yeah. Made of that. Like it's self-checkout, isn't it? Yeah. So basically, you're going to scan them on here. Here's yours. Yeah. $15 for that sandwich, Max.
I know. Yours probably won't be much cheaper.
Yeah. Right, so we're going to actually keep one of these bags and put the stuff into the backpacks, aren't we? Split them between us, so we've got our own, backpacks under our seats. The reason it's good to take a drink with you, I went on a 4-hour flight the other day, and it was a lot of turbulence, and they never did a drink service for the whole 4 hours, so I was quite dehydrated. So it's always good to take a drink with you, even if it's only a short flight. I don't normally, but after that trip, I will do it all the time now, I tell you. So I think as you saw there, it's a lot cheaper to eat at like Panda Express or McDonald's outside before you come through security. $45, for a couple of sandwiches.
You probably pay $15 for...
Yeah, but I mean, that's why we love the UK, the meal deals that you get at You don't knock those meal deals you get at WH Smith's and everything. And Boots. And Marks and Spencer's. So that's why we love it so much in the UK. Be prepared here if you're going to buy sandwiches or snacks at the airport. You'll be paying through your nose. And again, if you eat in the restaurants here, they tend to be more expensive as well, don't they? But it is what it is. We'll go cheap for tea. Yeah. I'll talk a little bit about the hotel. And for the hotel, what we do as well is tend to book it online, check them out. Sometimes it's cheaper to book with a package, isn't it, with someone like Expedia? And we check those out, and then we narrow it down. And what I also do is I go on Google Earth and look for hotels that have bars and restaurants in walking distance.
Yeah, typically an Irish one. If
we can, because we like to walk out in the evening and not have to drive anywhere. So I get a map and scout them out. If there's 2 or 3 close to each other, which is a good price, but also which one has the best bars next to it. So once we get, next step is we'll go to the gate. What they do is called boarding by a zone, and it's on your boarding pass. Group number, boarding zone or group number. And that can vary. Like on Delta, they usually start with, like platinum or whatever, like the top, whatever it is, diamond. And then they'll go on to business, and then they'll do military, and then they'll do those who need more time. Sometimes the kids go next, sometimes the kids go later on. You just have to check each airline, but it is on your boarding pass. Then they'll do business, then they'll do premium economy, then they'll do economy, and then there'll be like 5 zones in economy. And it's usually on a sign when you go, so you can see which zone is boarding at that time. And also, if you've got the app on your phone, it'll tell you when your zone is boarding. So that's another good thing to have. So we do like that. We got upgraded to premium economy because I fly a lot with Delta. I only bought an economy ticket. In fact, you're flying on a voucher. On the points, you're flying for free on the points. So, yes, we will go to the gate. We'll wait for our zone to be called. We'll get on board, and obviously the only advantage of getting on a little bit earlier is there's room to put your bags because the flights get pretty full. Sometimes, if you're on one of the last zones, we'll take these and we'll take them off you and we'll tag them, and you may have to pick them up in the baggage hall, or they may have them at the plane when you get off, depending on the size of the plane. And that's why everybody scrambles to get on first. And get the overhead space, don't they? So just showing you there, I always get my headphones out because most of the American planes do have a jack to put your headphones in. They can, some give you them for free, but some like American Charger in economy for headphones. So Max and I is bringing our own on American flights. If you got wireless ones, they don't tend to work on any of the American planes. And I think even on Virgin, you have to have Bluetooth basically. It has to be like the newer A350s, the older planes it doesn't work on. And just going back to what I was saying about boarding zone, we're down by the Virgin gate and they've got them all stuck here in the corner. But you can see all the boarding, like upper class, gold, premium, economy delight, diamonds. These are all like the different priority boarding groups who can go in as well, depending what you have on your card. Oh, and again, they're code share with KLM and Air France as well. So if you're a member of the club, that flying club, then you can use your priority with one airline with another as well. But we're just going to chill here. We have about 25 minutes till we board. We just chilling out in the quiet area. Oh, yeah, there's a big Delta. That could be hours coming in. Could be hours coming in. They fly every hour to Atlanta from here. It's like a shuttle bus that goes backwards and forwards. Another thing I forgot to mention is most airports in the US have free internet. So just search around for the airport like MCO internet and it's free connections. I think most airports do, but I think like in Manchester does. But if you need to do stuff on your phone, some will leave you. Some in the US are a bit stingy and give you like 3 or 4 hours up in New York, but most of them will. So it's a good way to stay connected. Right, we're on our way to the gate now, and I'll show you why we go and sit in that area as opposed to the main Delta area, which is just down here. It's I think I said earlier, it's a zoo down here. You sort of mean, Max? Yeah, I think that's our gate over there, 72. So yeah, it's a little bit busy. So we'll just wait for him to call our gate over there, our boarding zone, Comfort Plus, and then we'll be able to get on the plane. No way to sit here though, as you see, like everything's kind of crammed.
dry. Do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet up, and we just sing along. And I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? Forever. 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 I watch you as you sleep. You don't know I'm looking. With you everything's complete. Do you know how much I love you? I put your favorite song on just to wake you up. When I dance around, I can't help but feeling.
We're off the plane, aren't we?
Yeah.
Good job we got some sandwiches, because what, about an hour and a half delay on before we took off?
Yep.
Because of traffic, so we were on the plane on the ground longer than we were in the end.
Right, yeah.
But we had a sandwich and a drink as soon as we took off, so we're good with that. So when you land at whatever airport you're going to, what you're going to need to head for is baggage claim, and they'll be signposted usually in the middle. So someone like Atlanta has lots of different concourses, but you just follow the baggage claim, and you will see that's where we need to go. This is a train to get you between a plane train that gets you between the stations, or between the concourses, I should say. Sometimes you walk, sometimes it's a bus. Most times it's a train, isn't it?
Yeah.
In these big American airports. So we're going to head down, get on the train, and then we'll talk about the rental car. Because we're flying just domestic, so we don't have to go through immigration. If you're coming from another country, you go through immigration and security, but because they're not, like if you're flying in the UK or whatever country you're in, you can go straight to baggage claim, and here's baggage claim. And if we did have suitcases, we would look on this big board up there that tells me, see the big blue board, will tell me which baggage belt my bags are on, and I go and pick them up from there. And then the second thing we look for is rental car signs. I know where they are here because it's my local airport for travelling. And so we follow the signs here. It tells us where the rental cars are. Now your rental car centre is going to be in one or two things. It's either going to be on property, like it is at MCO, or it's going to be separate, is it satellite? And you've got to get a bus or a train or somewhere over there. Big airports tend to be satellite ones. This is a satellite, and it's a train. And you see the signs there for the rental car centre. If it is a remote one, allow yourself an extra half hour for dropping off and getting in. And this place also has the underground here, the MARTA. You can't get in this entrance at the moment, but they have connections straight into Atlanta. That's where I normally take the train into the city. But we're going to go against all these people who are coming in, because of this stuff, who are coming off the train, coming in here. And the main train runs above us, and the train above there, Max, it's the plane train. Runs to the rental car centre. No, we've been on the plane train. That's the rental car centre train. That black one up there looks like the one in Las Vegas at the Luxor and whatever. This one they call the Sky Train. The last one was the plane train. This is the Sky Train because it goes in the sky.
Welcome aboard the ATL Sky Train. Please hold on. This train is departing. Next stop is ATL West Parking, GICC, and Gateway Center Hotel. Stop is ATL West.
There's a train down to Atlanta.
GICC, and Gateway
Behind me.
Center Hotel.
See it over there? It's one that goes downtown Atlanta. It's about probably 20 minutes to downtown from here. Yeah. And there's the other one just circling around the rental car place. So we booked National, the ones we use in the UK, Max.
Yeah.
Because we had A, you got a good deal, and B, we just keep accruing the points with the same company, and it gets you boosty bonus things if you get enough points, doesn't it? So we're going to get down. Ours is indicated here as National. It's like I say, if you join the program, you get bonus points. If you get to enough status level like we've done to, then actually we can bypass the check-in desk here and go straight to the car. In the US, most of the cars you just pick from a line, don't you? A class of car. So I got an email, I put a picture in here from National telling me to bypass the desk, go straight to the car rental where the cars are, and my name will be on a list somewhere with the row or whatever car we've been allocated, and then we'll go pick a car that we like from the list. And these are all the check-in desks if you have to go and see a human being on the way down. but we're going straight down to here, and we'll just follow the signs wherever National is down here. Just follow the signs and avoid the lines. Follow the signs and avoid the lines. Emerald Club is their club that we're a member of, and this is the aisle, so I guess you can come down here and pick any of these, Max.
That's the Emerald Isle,
Yes. Anything take your fancy, let me know. You got Hyundais, you got Nissans, you have Toyotas,
Mazda?
got a Mazda. Who's to try and pick something we don't normally drive?
We'll be driving, so you can pick.
Look down the other side, so stand the other side, have a nosy.
Down here.
Yeah? So that's where you exit over there. They want to check your driving licence, that's the only thing. You have to have your licence out, because obviously anybody could walk up and get in a car, because all the keys are in the cars. Virginia is for lovers, Max. Let's see down here somewhere. Tucson we've got Hyundai Tucson. So we're going to go for the first car that we saw in line. We're going to do a walk around and check everything is not dinged, and then we will get on the road. So they give us 2 big keys. Can't lose them, can we?
No.
Oh, we've got heated seats. What we need is AC, and we need it on. Oh, to start connecting Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, press this widget. Do you want to connect to your Android Auto or Apple CarPlay?
Have I got them?
I think you have.
I don't think I have.
So we're just going through the setup. You basically hit the button on there, you hit the Bluetooth on your phone. I'm going to pair it with my phone. Pair. And it should connect to Android Auto, and then we can run it from the phone. Continue. And there we go. We now have Android Auto working for us. So I should be able to go into Google Maps, and maybe it'll even remember the last thing I searched in here. So it's picked it up from my phone. 32 minutes it's saying. I think we'll hit this to say go. And it's now showing us the route to get there. But first we've got to get out here and show them our show them our stuff.
Fastest route despite some traffic. You should reach your destination by 3:23 p.m.
And we have the petrol is full. That's full. I'm just getting my sunglasses out. That's the other thing. Right, 4 hours later we are here, aren't we? We just stopped off at Publix to get a few things, and we are at the hotel now. A number of hotels, like I say, if you book through the hotel, you can actually go online, and we got, like I say, got a notification this morning the room was ready. But some of the hotels, like Hilton, you can pick your room when you go in there. But what we're going to do is go and check in at reception. We don't like rooms that are near elevators or ice machines, do we, Max?
Yeah.
So we normally ask at reception when we go in. Yeah, because I'm a very light sleeper. So we'll check into the hotel and give you a quick look at the room. Right, so we're in. Yeah, Max, it's a bit weird. Got the toilet and the sink there, but the toilet and the bath there, but the sink's out here. Why?
Because it's a handicap room.
Oh, is it?
Because they need to get.
Oh, wheelchair access. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And we got we have a little fridge, and we have a hairdryer. It is complimentary breakfast, Keurig, bit of storage space. Yeah, it's a bedroom. It's a double room. All is good. And so, into the light. That leaves us just one more thing to do to finish this vlog off. Cheers.
Cheers.
Or else would it be to finish the day off? But in the happy hour at Applebee's.
Look at
these things. You exactly. So we wrap the day. Again, remember this bar was walking distance to the hotel. We're going to have something to eat. It took us, what, 6 hours to get here? Travel-wise. You're hiding behind my glass, but then it's as big as your head, that, isn't it? So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's vlog, where we're really talking about booking holidays and how we do it and what we do. If you'd like what we do, please like and subscribe. If you've got any questions, pop them below. We will try and respond. And we will see you later. Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh.
That was a good one, wasn't it, when you started it?